This is the top 5 meta loadouts in Warzone Rebirth Island in Season 5. Now, everything I have for you guys are considering all the updates, so this is the best of the best. You're going to have no problems. You're going to absolutely be able to dominate anybody you take on. So the first thing I want to give you guys is the STG-44. I want to say that at the moment, this is the best assault rifle in the game, especially fully automatic. So we're going to start out with this. Start out with the cast's break for the horizontal recoil and firing aim stability. You lose a little bit of ADS speed, but it's not a big deal. The alternative is a ZM35 compensated flash hider, and it seems like there's way more benefits, but there's not really a big difference. When I compared the two, my accuracy was about the same. I would say there's maybe a 1% difference, which really isn't worth it for the 5% reduction of bullet velocity. The cast's break was the best option in my opinion. Next, I put on the Heimricher C70 long barrel for the bullet velocity and range and aiming out of sway. You lose hip fire cons and you lose some gun kick control, but you're not going to notice it at all. The big thing is the range increase. Effective and minimum damage range go up by 28% and the bullet velocity go up by 21%, which is absolutely optimal. Next, I put on the 50 round drum. There are going to be some people that want to use the 40, completely fine. Whatever you want to use is completely up to you. I just imagined you would want to have as many bullets as possible, so 50 was my choice. Jack Glass's optic was for me, especially in this new Warzone. If you want to use anything else, especially if you want to be OG and use, say, the slate reflector, and that's completely fine as well, but I like using the Jack Glass's optic. I feel like it lets me see a little bit more and really gives me the opportunity to take down the enemies pretty easily. The DR79 combo stock is the best choice for stock. It helps with gun kick control, recoil control, and firing aim stability, and the things you lose really aren't important. The recoil control goes up tremendously with a 21% increase of recoil gun kick and 11% increase of horizontal and vertical recoil control. When you put these all together, it's just an amazing weapon that basically takes no effort to actually use. I would say this strongly competes with the Holger 26, and especially since the Holger 26 got a little nerfed, just slightly nerfed in this update, this might be something you lean towards. I think that the Holger is still amazing, but if you want an alternative, this STG-44 is up your avenue. Next is the Superi 46. The only thing that they nerfed is actually the movement. So I'm going to give you a movement build, but I'm going to give you this meta build first. Throw on the ZM35 compensated flash hider for the shorter radar pings, vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed and bullet velocity. Not a big deal because the recoil pros are definitely much more optimal. Put on the Zulu Ops 3 light barrel for the crouch movement speed and aim walking movement speed. Now this is actually a strafing build, so it still has really good movement, but it's more so about strafing. The ADS movement speed goes up by 12%, which is absolutely amazing. Then we put on the XRK Edge BW4 hand stop for aim walking speed, movement speed, aim down sight speed, and sprint to fire speed at the cost of aim walking steadiness and hip fire attack stance spread. As you guys see, the mobility goes up a ton along with the handling, so this is a fantastic choice. 40 round mag because that's as high as it can go, unfortunately. And then we put on the Jack Cutthroat for aim walking speed, aim walking steadiness, and movement speed. The movement speed goes up a ton with a 6% increase. ADS movement speed goes up 15% as well, so this is literally a max strafe build. Now I have an alternative for you guys, but this is the one I want you to check out first. And this is a fantastic build. Honestly, the strafe is absolutely perfect. You're going to be able to outstrafe your enemies. They're going to have a hard time hitting you. Like, I'm just going to show you guys real quick. Look how easy it is to actually strafe. Now this is pretty good long range, but I don't really advise using it long range unless you're actually a really good shooter. But in my opinion, short to medium range, fantastic. If you want to use it that way, then you'll do fantastic. Here's the entire build right here. Now, if you guys want a slight alternative that's all about movement, because I know there are some movement kings out there, and I have something especially for you. So what we're going to do is we are going to put on the Bore 99 shirt barrel for the hip fire attack stance spread, sprint to fire speed, aim down sight speed, and movement speed. Now the movement speed goes up 7%, which is pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. The only downside is your bullet velocity goes down along with the effective and minimum damage range. That's why I kind of try to avoid that. I keep just about everything else the same. Now there are some people that say the Rescue 9 is a little bit better, you know, in regards to movement speed. Now you're not going to get that strafe speed, but technically if you put this on, yes, your movement speed will go up. So this will be something where you're absolutely flying. Like, I can't deny that this is so much faster. So if you're a movement person, you just want to, you know, hit a movement clip or something like that, then this is absolutely amazing. But as you guys see, the strafe speed isn't as fast and your bullet velocity does go down a little bit. So this is completely up to you, whichever one you want to use. I mean, they're both nice. So next is the WSP-9. Now this thing is absolutely insane, and I absolutely love how it's worked ever since the beginning of Warzone. So they're on the ZM35 compensated flash hider for the shorter radar pings, horizontal and vertical recoil, and firing aim stability. This is the best choice overall for it. Next, we're putting on the Brune Heavy support grip for the the gun kick control, aiming out of sway, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability. I know this is a little bit confusing, but just bear with me. This build is going to be the best one you've ever had for the WSP-9. Put on the 40 round mag. You do not need 50 because you're going to have double the penalties for no reason. Just put on the 40 because it's more than enough. Put on the marauder grip for the gun kick control, firing aim stability, and recoil control at the cost of aiming out of sway. It's just a fantastic choice. There's no better alternative. And finally, we're putting on no stock for sprint to fire speed, movement speed, aim walking speed, and aim down sight speed. Now, this may be a little confusing, this build, but trust me, when I show you guys in the firing range how insane it is, it's going to make a lot of sense. So check this out. It takes literally no effort to actually use this gun. The fantastic recoil is so worth it to have this fantastic movement. Like, just check this out. You can actually move so quick. The strafe speed is on point, and this thing does a ton of damage. So why wouldn't you actually use this? It is definitely on the top of my list for fantastic SMGs. So make sure you guys are trying this out at least once. Try it out for yourself. With the SVA 545 getting a buff, this is definitely something I was going to show you guys. Throw on the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor for being undetectable by radar, recoil control, bullet velocity, and range at the cost of aim down sight speed, aim walk and steadiness, and sprint to fire speed. Now look at this. The range goes up effective and minimum by 5%, and the bullet velocity by 8%. So this is a good choice. And the horizontal and vertical recoil go up as well by 7%. So there's also a nice choice. Put on the STV Precision Barrel for the aiming out of sway, bullet velocity, and range, gun kick control, and recoil control. The range, effective and minimum go up by 12%, and bullet velocity goes up by 15%. The horizontal and vertical recoil goes up by 8%, and the gun kick control goes up by 4%. So this is a fantastic attachment to have. The barrel is the best choice out of all of them. Then I put on the 5.45 high grain rounds for a 15% increase across the board for the range. Now you do lose some recoil control, but we already took care of that in previous attachments. 60 round mag because we want as many bullets as possible for this AR. And finally, the Jack glassless optic. Make sure you're using the single fire mode because it shoots 2 bullets faster than anything else. And with the range buff, well, the range buff for the SVA, this is going to make it honestly one of the best guns in the game. I still think that the STG is probably a little bit more dominant, but in my opinion, if you don't mind using a single fire weapon, well, single fire mode weapon, then this is definitely going to be up there. I most likely would say it's about 50-50 with the SVA and the STG 44, or maybe like 49-51, but I mean, it just depends on the player. Finally, the last thing I'm going to show you guys, the Holger 26. They're on the Zeman 35 compensated flash hider for the shorter radar pings, vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability. This is the best choice overall out of everything else. Throw on the Holger factory barrel for the bullet velocity and range, recoil control, and gun kick at the cost of aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. This is a fantastic choice because the effective and minimum damage range go up by 20% and the bullet velocity by 10%, and you also get an increase of recoil control, which is a fantastic choice for a barrel. Nothing really competes with it, so this is the best choice. Throw on the Brune heavy support grip for gun kick control, aiming out of sway, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed and vertical recoil. This is just the best choice overall. 5.56 NATO high grain rounds for bullet velocity and damage range at the cost of recoil control. This is a fantastic choice because once again, it helps with range 15% across the board. And finally, we put on the Ascent Lord stock for the aiming out of sway, recoil control, gun kick control, and firing aim stability. This helps 17% for recoil gun kick and then 7% for horizontal and vertical recoil. Now check out this entire build right here, and I can't wait to show you guys just how powerful it is in the firing range. It honestly is super hard to compete with this weapon just because of how fast it is and how low recoil it is. It's just honestly still one of the best weapons in the game. I do really like the STG, but if it was the Holger 26 versus the STG and the Holger 26 had a good head glitch along with the STG, I think that the Holger would win just because I think the recoil control is a little bit better. Like, even honestly, a beginner player can use this build right here and do fantastic, control the recoil better than the STG. So that's the top 5. Let me know which one of your favorite in the comment section down below. I would greatly appreciate it.